Ellarigu namaskara. I hope you all are doing good. Welcome back to the Little Things. Today's video is going to be a little different because today we'll be sharing with you all one of our worst experiences after coming to Canada. Now, before getting started, I do want to give a little background about ourselves. Basically, we are from Bangalore, India, and all our lives we have lived with our parents. We have never stayed in hostels or PG. Basically, we have never lived independently all by ourselves. It's only after coming to Canada that we have actually started learning how to take care of a home, how to take care of our finances, or how to cook, things like that. From making those small decisions to very big ones, for the first time we are being completely responsible of our lives. But honestly speaking, we never thought that we could manage to do all this. Having said that, our lives not picture perfect. We have made plenty of mistakes, and one such mistake costed our mental peace and ended up being one of our worst experiences here in Canada. Now, why are we sharing this with you guys? Because honestly, every year so many of us actually move out of our homes, our countries, maybe in search of a better life or a career. And for many of us, this is the very first time that we would be doing so, right? So we thought maybe by sharing our experience, if somebody else could benefit out of it and not repeat the same mistakes as we did, then I think it's worth it. And also I wanted to vent out a little. So let's get started with the video. So it all began in the last week of April 2020. It had been like 3 months since we had moved to Canada, and our status was Rajesh had got his first job with almost near to basic pay. I had not got any job. I had also started this YouTube channel then, and COVID was at its peak. Now, the thing was, we had just one more week left to move out of our downtown rental, but we had not found a place yet. So all my time I would spend browsing through Kijiji website to find a long-term rental for ourselves, and our budget was just $1,200 because he was the only earning member and we didn't want to spend all the money that we had got from India. So speaking of the house hunting itself, first of all, there were fewer listings thanks to COVID, and among the listings available, when we used to approach landlords, they would actually hike up the price saying that there's a lot of demand for their property, and with others what would happen, by the time we decide and let them know, they would be like somebody else has taken it. So basically it was a really stressful time for us, just not understanding how things work here. And around this time we actually came across a listing in Scarborough near Bluffs, and this place really looked nice in pictures, and what was most eye-catching for us is that the rent was just $1,000 plus utilities. So we thought we will check it out. Now, being a scaredy cat, I was not interested in going out and having a viewing, so Rajesh went to check out the place. So Rajesh, do you want to come and share your experience? He agreed. So Rajesh, you want to share with them how was your experience?
Okay, so I'd been to the place. It was a nice neighborhood. I went and met the landlord. He was an old guy, and he said like he was staying alone upstairs, and he showed me the place around. It was nice basement, well done, like neatly arranged. There was no problem with the basement at all. But I was like a bit skeptical because for 1,000 nobody was like willing to rent out a basement at that particular price. The only issue he had was, like he said, not to cook, and the reason being he had some health issues. So I said like, okay, we can agree to that, and we can make some arrangements so that we can cook in the noon and have a dinner. So once I was there, I called Chaitanya and said like, these are the issues, are you okay with it? And also he specified on keeping the place clean. So his main things were like, keeping the place clean and not to cook after 3 p.m. specifically. So these were the two things. So I We said okay. I called her and informed the same, and she was like, okay, let's do this because we're running out of time. We had to find a place within 1 week's time. So we agreed and finalized the place.
We were finally relieved that we at least had a place now. So April end we moved to this place, and that was the beginning of our worst experience in Canada. So do you want to tell them what happened on the first day when we moved in there?
So on the day we moved to that place, we were expecting a 1 year rental. We thought like we can stay here for a year's time because we've been like moving around for like 2-3 places, and we thought this place where we could like stay for a longer period of time and then finalize things. But things were like bit different than we expected. He came and he said like let's do this. Let's do a 2 month agreement thing, and if you're happy with the like way you're keeping the place, if you're keeping the place clean, and if I'm okay with the smell and the cooking part, then we can proceed. I was like okay fine, like we have already got our items and like all the luggages, so we said okay to it. And later he gave like a 1 hour lecture on how to keep the entire house clean. Like he showed us around, he showed like what all items you need to use, specific items like to you
The
to,
pine sol and
yeah,
stuff,
everything like
the
to
cleaning detergent, everything.
And that happened. And later he said, Rajesh, I forgot to mention that you need to pay a rental or a security deposit of $500. Even that was like on the spot. I was like okay, and he said once you move out, I'll just make sure everything is in place and then return the 500 deposit. We agreed to that as well. So we both coming from India, owners coming and like giving us lecture of how to keep their house clean, and like asking not to like nail their place or like asking specific things. We were used to it, like, so we said okay, but we never knew like things would like
Go south so
south.
soon.
Yeah, true.
So on the day we moved in, we cleaned the entire place because we never knew who had visited the place, and since it was COVID, we sanitized everything and we sorted everything out. We felt settled that day actually.
Yeah.
Like we thought we are gonna stay here for a couple of years at least. We were happy, but we never knew that it was a very short lived happiness. The very next day itself, he gets a phone call, and the landlord is like, what did he say you?
He was like, Rajesh, what did you cook yesterday? I'm sick and I'm coming from a walk-in clinic. Like, you guys are making me sick. And he said everything, and we both felt really guilty because he had like specifically mentioned he had this health condition. And we were like, we didn't know what to do.
Because we had not cooked anything and we don't know from where that smell came. We felt like really sad that day, thinking that because of us he went to clinic. So we were really worried, and after some time he comes downstairs and then starts his next lecture on cleaning. You can't even believe what kind of things he suggested us. Can you believe he actually asked us to spray bleach on the cooktop, on the kitchen slab, and if you've used bleach, you'll know like the strong fume that comes out of it. I was like, sorry, I'm not gonna do it. His another funny suggestion was to, boil cooking vessels in soap water. I really don't know from where he was getting all these ideas, but I was not ready to do that. But still, we promised him that we will make sure that we don't cook anything at all in the evening so that he doesn't get any food smell. And we apologized to him actually because he became sick. And you guys, this like continued for the next 1 week. Every other day he would like actually text or call us up and he would be like, there's this food smell. We were like, from where is this food smell coming up? But I really couldn't handle it, and within a week's time I was like, I had given up, and I told Rajesh that I can't do this, let's go to some other place. But he was not ready. So do you want to tell them why you were not ready to move out of the place?
So for me, the main thing stopping me from moving to another place was, again, we need to look for a place, we need to like negotiate with the owner, and it was COVID time. So, and also I just got a job and she was looking for a job as well. So we were like not financially secure at that particular time. So I thought, let's give it some time. Let's try to work this out. We have any which ways come here. So I tried everything possible. Like I got scented candles. I even like tried cleaning thrice. The cooktop, everything, like no matter, even if we cook, we used to keep the windows open, even though it was like a very chill out,
Yeah.
even though it was like really cold out. I used to keep the windows open, keep the like exhaust fan on for like hours.
Yeah.
Even after doing all these things, like he would still call us in the evening and say like, Rajesh, there's some smell coming up, I'm not able to sleep, my bedroom like stinks of like the curry smell, all the other, like I'm not sure whether he was bluffing or was he real, but we used to do everything possible within our powers to like keep the smell out of his reach, or like going upstairs. But this continued and it went on. Like me being a person, I am resilient, or like I would try my best to like try out everything possible so that we were able to like stay in that place, and the neighborhood was like really good.
Yeah, that
And
I agree. It was really beautiful and
and we had a
nice.
huge backyard as well, and we could access all of this, but only thing was this guy was pestering us like crazy. So yeah, I thought
Finally, he gave up after a couple of months.
yeah, I did everything. And one worst scenario was when his son had come from US, and his son was literally saying like, my dad is like this, and I'm sorry, I know he's like pestering you guys, but please don't take it personally. If you're not happy with the place, you can like find another place. So I thought like, if his son has like given up on him, like we can't do anything.
Yeah.
And that is when we thought of like finding another place.
So he actually went and spoke to him about
Yeah.
it, but he played an emotional card. What was it?
I thought like we can't take this anymore. Even she had like given up on this like long back.
Long back.
So I was just giving it a try. We went for like 2-3 months, and after that I thought like this is not gonna happen. And I went to him like to have a word. It was like evening time, like around 5. And he went, I spoke to him and he said, Rajesh, I do understand like you are doing everything possible, but I still get that smell. But just imagine, Rajesh, if your father had this issue, would you be doing the same thing? Would you like move out and would you leave your father? And he played that emotional card. I said, okay, fine. I said like, let me try it for 1 more month, and he somehow convinced me to like stay there.
Yeah, so I was sitting back at our home. I was hoping he will go speak to him, and we're like moving out of this place in a month's time. And he comes back and he's like, you know what happened? Can't we try more on this? Try to adjust and let's try. I was like, what happened to him all of a sudden? Because I had literally convinced him, and he himself was convinced that we had to move out of this place. So, yeah, and then he convinced me, and we thought, okay, let's give it some more time. We thought maybe he was alone in his place.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he
We
was
both
feeling
felt
lonely.
bad for him.
Yeah.
But again, like this is something like out of our powers, because we personally felt guilty because of us somebody else is like not feeling well, and we didn't want to be in that space. So that's when we thought like we'll move on. But again, like he played this card, so I had to like do everything that I did in the past 6 months or 3 months, sorry, and I had to like do again scented candles, exhaust fan, everything again, but nothing worked.
Although we gave our like more than 100% to make things work, it never worked. He would like keep low for a couple of days, and then after that it would all start all over again. His continuous messaging, calls, it's literally like somebody was literally present in our lives and we didn't want that person to be there.
Sure.
So yeah, it was not working, and a couple of times after we did this, he spoke to him and said that we are moving out. He would actually post ads in Kijiji. People would come visiting to have a view, and he wouldn't give that place to anybody. What we realized that he was racist too, right? Like he would literally tell us that after some person would come visit the place, And after he goes out, he would be like, I'm not gonna give that place to this person. Like, I don't know, we experienced that too. And after a couple of days, he would say that I'm not finding anybody correct for this place, and you are the best people, best tenants ever. Please stay here. This went on for another 1 or 2 months.
2 months, yeah.
And by the end of 5 months, something really good happened with our lives, and that is I got my first job in Canada. And with that, something bad also happened. I had a 9 to 5 job, and now I couldn't cook at all. Like, he was not okay with me cooking in the morning nor in the evening. So when do I cook? When do we eat? And we were like really stressed out. So I used to have just 1 hour break between for my lunch break, and I used to literally try to manage to cook everything possible in that 1 hour and also have my lunch. So from morning 9 to 5, I was like constantly stressed out. I had to work, I had to cook, eat, again work. And I was like, you know what? Although mine was like just 3 months contract job and it was going to end soon, I was like, something good will happen later on, but let's just move out. Money will come later, but we need to have mental peace, or else what is the point of us doing all this, going through all these struggles to come here to Canada and still not be at peace, not be happy? What's the point? So finally, after all that, he also made up his mind, and we gave our last 1 month's notice to him. And we thought, okay, just 1 more month, but that was the beginning of another hell altogether.
It was like phase 2 of what we went through.
Yeah.